That is the greatest success, whereby the believer will get to see his creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal. And thus you find that their reasoning and their questioning was not a shallow understanding that we want to see certain things. Oh God, show me a sign and I'll submit to you. Oh God, make this happen in my life and I will become a true worshipper to you. Shallow things that we ask for. Yet their deep conviction and their reasoning or their questioning was not for mockery or for jest. Theirs was a movement of real knowledge. For example, the ulama, they talk about concepts of knowledge or the travelling of knowledge. First you find something which is classified as just al-ilm, just knowledge. Then you find that which is classified as ilmul yaqeen, a certain satisfaction or gaining of knowledge. Then you find aynul yaqeen, true reality. That's what these prophets, anbiya, wanted to gain. They wanted to reach the pinnacle point of ilm, aynul yaqeen. If I said to you, for example, taking the parable, here is water, I described to you water, H2O. And then I showed you this is water. This now becomes aynul yaqeen. When you drink it, it becomes ilmul yaqeen. When you drink it, it becomes aynul yaqeen. Because now you've seen water, you've heard about water, you've tasted it, and you know the reality of what water is. So the anbiya wanted to reach that pinnacle point of aynul yaqeen, of true submission and dedication and realization of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, or Musa, he asked out of sincere love. Because he was Kalimullah, the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to. So he wanted to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to him on so many occasions. Innani and Allah. Indeed I am Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We find in Surah Taha. And likewise saying to him, remove your shoes. Verily you are inside the blessed valley. So Musa alayhi salam wanted to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the amount of occasions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to him. You find inside Surah An-Nisa, وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa alayhi salam. So he was justified in requesting, Ya Allah, let me see you. Let me visualize you inside this dunya. If you look at the ayat inside Surah Al-A'raf, you find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I'm going to reveal myself to, upon the dunya. And this mountain remains in this place. You can visualize me paraphrasing the words in the English language. And the ulama, as Ibn Abbas highlights, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only a small fraction of the tip of a fingertip revealed the light. And that brought the whole of the mountain, crumbled the mountain to dust. فَصَعِقَ مُوسَى. And Musa alayhi salam fell down, fainted, of requesting this because the immense light that shattered the whole of this mountain. Ibrahim alayhi salam did not believe, but wanted to be stronger in faith. قَالَ أَوَلَمْ تُؤْمِنْ قَالَ بَلَى وَلَكِنْ لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي. I want my heart to be in a state of rest and satisfaction. In his heart he wanted that ultimate pinnacle understanding of how does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give life from something that has died or passed away. As for Isa alayhi salam, then this request was from his followers. He had deep conviction, but his followers kept on pestering him. The disciples kept on asking him that show us a sign. Even though he'd been given the 5 signs of blowing into the clay bird or the clay shape and making it into a pigeon by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the other signs of curing the blind, of bringing the dead back to life by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and telling people what they stored inside their homes. And thus you find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we will send down this ayah upon you, and whoever displeases after this will have a severe chastisement or punishment. So people in most aspects of Iman, they go from one extreme to the other extreme. Just like the followers of the prophets as well. And this concept of belief in the jinn, in the world of the unseen, that you find there are many extreme views. You find, for example, people deny the existence of the jinn. Not just amongst the non-Muslims, but amongst the Muslims as well. People who deny the existence of the jinn. Secondly, you find amongst the mushrikun, the polytheists, who say that al-jinn, the meaning of the jinn is the souls of the planets. Thirdly, you find the philosophers, yani al-mutakallimun. They say it's your evil inclinations. So the jinn is only your evil inclinations that you find within yourself. That's the meaning of ma'ani, or the ma'na of the jinn. Amongst them you find something attributed to one of the revivalists, Muhammad Abdu. They say that he stated that the jinn is microbes and bacteria. So the microbes and bacteria you see, that's nothing but the meaning or the understanding of the jinn. Muhammad al-Bahai, he said that the jinn are the angels. So he makes the jinn equivalent to the angels and makes no any difference between the two. Amongst the Muslim groups who deny the existence of the jinn, al-Jahmiyyah wal-Mu'tazila, they deny the existence of the jinn. They totally reject that there's no such thing as the jinn. And likewise, you find many modernist movements, they write about the concept of jinn, it's only a figment of the mind. And many things people they write, it's only a figment of the mind. That your belief in paradise is only a figment of the mind. Your belief in the Aqeedah and the hellfire is only a figment of the mind. There's no real substantial proof to prove the existence of the Aqeedah. Thus you find that many of the teachers who may teach you and the lecturers, for them they're very skilled in the dunya. يَعْلَمُونَ ظَاهِرًا مِنَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ عَنِ الْآخِرَةِ غَافِلُونَ is what I say about these people. They know everything about this world. As for the Akhirah, they're ghafilun, they're heedless. That's why many of them go back, يَعْبُدُونَ الْأَصْنَامِ, they go back and they worship statues and idols. يَعْبُدُونَ فَرْجُ النِّسَاءِ, they worship the private parts of women and men. That's what these people they do, but they claim to be so intellectually powerful in the things that they believe in. But as far as we're concerned, they're ghafilun, heedless people. Because real ilm drives you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the science of the Quran. That whatever science you're involved in, it will drive you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if be ayatul kawniyah, signs of the universe, will push you to recognize the creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you find amongst al-Yahud wal-Mushrikun, amongst the Jews and the polytheists, people believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took wives from the jinn and the result was the angels. Look at this evil belief that these people had. And it's been documented by the works of Tafsir of Ibn Kathir. The Quran itself, وَجَعَلُوا بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ الْجِنَّةِ نَسَبًا, they placed between him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the jinn nasaba, kinship. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمَتِ الْجِنَّةُ إِنَّهُمْ لَمُحْضَرُونَ, indeed the jinns knew that they were brought before him subhanahu wa ta'ala, subhanallahi amma yasifun, glorified be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what they attribute to him. Ibn Kathir in his tafsir highlights, and Imam Mujahid he states, and or Ibn Kathir brings the work of Imam Mujahid, that the mushrikun said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the angels are the daughters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Abu Bakr said, who are their mothers? And they said the daughters of the best of the jinn. So this is their evil understanding, that the jinn are the daughters, the angels are the daughters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then the mothers are the daughters of the best of the jinn, meaning some relationship took place to bring about the creation of the jinn. Al-Awfi narrated on authority of Ibn Abbas, the enemies of Allah alleged that he, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Iblis were brethren, they were brothers, and a fight broke out between them. Even the Bible is full of such, and blasphemy, talking about concept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't know where Adam is, talking about Dawood alayhi salam, and he fornicating, and all such things that you find in the Bible, that you find even a shallow individual, a layman can highlight and find these things, these discrepancies inside which they claim to be the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you find another understanding that there's no knowledge concerning their existence. So no knowledge about them is not a proof that they do not exist. So there's no knowledge, that does not mean there's no proof that they don't exist. And the Quran highlights this principle as well. It highlights, بَلْ كَذَّبُوا بِمَا لَمْ يُحِيطُوا بِعِلْمِهِ, but these people, they deny what their knowledge cannot encompass. So if you do not realize something, that does not mean it does not exist. من الحواس الخمسة, from your five senses, if you don't begin to visualize the jinn, even at times the jinn may become apparent in the form of a human being, speak their language, etc. You find they will become apparent. But in general, they're not apparent. You can't smell the jinn, you can't visualize the jinn, you can't touch the jinn. And you cannot hear the jinn unless they come out in a different form. Does that mean they don't exist? So the Quran lays down this principle. If you cannot understand or encompass something, that does not mean it does not exist by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we want to look at what the Quran and the Sunnah states about the creation or the essence of the jinn. Awalan, even if you read the first verse of Surah Al-Fatiha, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, all praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of the worlds. If you dissect or you analyze this one simple verse of the Quran, the first verse of Surah Al-Fatiha, in there the answer is given. Praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of all of the worlds. Rabbil Alameen. Here Al-Alameen is plural of Al-Alam, the world, the worlds. The worlds that we can visualize, the worlds that we don't know about. And the worlds that these people are trying to build a 5-star hotel in Mars or wherever it may be, that they can go on a vacation and pay money to go there. And the worlds that we don't know. There's many worlds that we don't know about that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. So these worlds, the world of ins or the world of the jinn, the world of the human beings or the world of the jinn, this ayah highlights that view and that belief that we should believe in the other world, or what they classify as the supernatural world. Likewise, we find the Prophet Muhammad وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We did not send you except for as a mercy to the whole of mankind and to the whole world. Once again, the world, the Prophet Muhammad was sent to the world of the human beings and the world of the jinn. The rest of these religions are not sent to the whole of the world. That's a great big lie when they say Christianity is sent for the whole of the world. Because even according to the Bible, I've not been sent to the lost sheep except for the lost sheep of Israel. And in Surah Al-Imran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ we did not send you, the verse inside the Quran, we did not send you except for وَرَسُولًا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. We only send you as a messenger to Bani Israel. That's the role of Isa ibn Maryam. فَإِنَّهُمْ كَذَّبُونَ. They're liars when they say that Christianity is for the whole of humanity. There's only one faith which is for the whole of humanity, and that is Deenul Islam. The way